There are messages that only make sense to those who already carry the key within. People who, from a young age, perceive the world differently, as if they had an inner radar tuned into something invisible, yet deeply felt. Have you ever wondered why certain experiences seem to pierce deeper into you than into others? Have you ever felt a constant restlessness, like you're here for a reason you don't fully understand yet? If these questions stir something inside you, then maybe, just maybe, you are a chosen one, and you carry a special mission. Chosen ones don't come with a manual. They arrive with subtle marks most people don't even notice. And because of that, they often spend years trying to fit in where they were never meant to belong, living a life out of alignment with their divine purpose, simply for lack of awareness. Today, you're going to discover 4 deep signs that may confirm something your soul already senses. I'll reveal these marks in ascending order of impact. And the last one is, without a doubt, the most transformative. A true turning point for those who are ready to see. And if you're here seeking confirmation, but deep down already feel you are, in fact, a chosen one, then leave a comment. I know I have a special mission. The first mark, which takes the 4th place on our list, is your presence causes spontaneous distancing. Have you noticed that certain people just drift away from you with no apparent reason, no explanations, and often without even saying goodbye? This kind of distancing is not a coincidence. When someone begins to vibrate at a frequency more aligned with their true essence, any relationship that doesn't match this new pattern starts to dissolve on its own, especially those bonds rooted in negativity, manipulation, or control games. At first, this can feel painful. After all, we're conditioned to maintain ties, even when they no longer make sense. But the truth is, when your energy rises, it becomes intolerable to those who are still trapped in frequencies of fear, scarcity, or deceit. The presence of a chosen one unconsciously exposes what others are trying to hide, and that deeply unsettles those who aren't ready to change. So instead of seeing these departures as rejection, start recognizing them as protection. Your vibration is clearing the path so new cycles can emerge. The universe is repositioning you. And even if it doesn't make sense right away, over time it all starts to become clear. How many times have you looked back and felt grateful for something that once seemed like a loss, but was actually a breakthrough? This is one of the most subtle marks of a chosen one, because it doesn't come with loud signals. It reveals itself in silence, in unexpected endings, in the lightness that follows certain connections fading away. It's your vibrational field recalibrating your surroundings, without words, without effort. You're not pushing people away. You're simply no longer adapting to frequencies that no longer resonate with who you're becoming. This phenomenon can be explained by frequency incompatibility. In a unified energy field, mismatched vibrations can't coexist in balance for long. The body, the mind, and the spirit of someone who is expanding will naturally reject any trace of stagnation. It's like trying to keep a flame lit in a suffocating space. It will either seek oxygen or go out. In the teachings on morphic fields and vibrational resonance, this process is known as energetic adjustment, a natural realignment that happens whenever someone begins to activate patterns that are more coherent with their essence. What's not aligned will fall away. What still needs to be learned will return. And what has fulfilled its purpose will move on. No drama, no resistance. Of course, it's not always easy to accept. Some of the people who leave have familiar faces, shared memories, and genuine affection. But that, too, is part of the path of a chosen one. Detachment becomes a tool for elevation, And the more you honor this process, the more space you create for people, projects, and connections that truly align with your mission to find you. But sometimes, it's not people who step away. It's reality itself that seems to test you, bringing challenges, shocks, and situations that shake your stability. This brings us directly to the mark that holds third place on our list. You see conflicts arise with no clear explanation. Even when everything around you seems to be at peace, certain chaotic situations seem to come out of nowhere. Unexpected conflicts, disproportionate reactions from others, tension you didn't provoke. Why does this happen to someone who simply wants to live in harmony? The answer lies in the energy you carry. The presence of a chosen one tends to activate hidden fields around them, especially those that are in need of healing. Your light doesn't attack, but it reveals. And whatever has been buried in the shadows tends to react. It's like turning on a flashlight in a dark room. Those who are still comfortable in the dark feel disturbed by the light. That's why you often become a trigger for people who are disconnected from their own truth. They feel something different in you, and many don't know how to deal with it. This is one of the most challenging marks, because the conflict doesn't start with you, yet it always seems to form around you. And that can lead to an unfair feeling of always being in the wrong place, or of being misunderstood. But know this, you're not causing the chaos. You're revealing what needs to be transformed. Your presence is a mirror, and not everyone is ready to see themselves with honesty. Those who carry this mark are like catalysts for healing. They accelerate processes. Without realizing it, they stir stagnant systems, disrupt dysfunctional families, shake up groups where truth has been suppressed for too long. It's not that you're the problem. You're the agent of change, and every change, at first, provokes resistance. This phenomenon can also be understood through the lens of electromagnetic fields. Anything vibrating at a high frequency naturally reorganizes what is out of harmony. Imagine a symphony. If just one instrument is out of tune, the purest note will be the first to stand out and challenge the rest. You're vibrating higher, and that's why your frequency disrupts the dissonance around you. That's why many chosen ones end up being misunderstood. They're called intense, impulsive, dramatic. But deep down, they're just expressing a truth the environment is trying to avoid. Your energy no longer allows lies to be sustained. And even if you don't say a word, your presence speaks volumes. What looks like confusion is actually a process of spiritual detox unfolding. This mark demands inner strength and clarity of purpose, because the world will often accuse you of what you're merely reflecting. It's easy to project onto others the discomfort we feel within. But the more you understand this, the more compassionate you become, and more grounded too. You stop shrinking just to keep others comfortable, because you already know that your mission is to awaken, not to please. And maybe this has always reinforced a certain feeling inside you, that you don't really belong here, that you live like a stranger in the world, even among familiar faces. So before we move on to the mark that holds second place on our list, tell me, if you've always felt like a stranger in this world, leave a comment. This world is not my home, but my mission is. You have a constant feeling of never having truly fit into this world. From a very young age, you felt something was out of sync, in the environment, in people, or maybe even within yourself. It was as if there was a mismatch between your nature and the way the world around you operated. Conversations felt shallow, values unfamiliar, and even when you tried to adapt, something inside you always resisted. That resistance was, in truth, an ancient memory, a memory that doesn't come from the mind, but from the soul, a kind of longing you could never explain, as if you were far from home, even without ever having known it in this life. For many, this feeling brings confusion and sadness. For the chosen ones, it's a reminder, a silent sign that your origin is not bound by time, geography, or culture. This mark is connected to consciousnesses that carry records of other realities, souls that have already passed through other dimensions, planets, or elevated states of existence. And when they incarnate in a denser reality, they feel the energetic friction of that contrast. You are not misplaced. You are on a mission, and your non-identification with the world is a way of preserving who you are. Many try to bury that feeling, seeking acceptance at any cost. But the farther they stray from their own essence, the emptier they feel, until a moment comes when the soul begins to scream. And that's when the true awakening happens. The discomfort is no longer seen as a problem. It becomes the sign that was always pointing the way back. This disconnection is not a sign of weakness or inadequacy. It's proof that you never completely forgot your vibrational origin, that even amid the noise of the world, something within you has remained intact, and that something is the foundation of your mission. You didn't come here to repeat patterns. You came to break them. And that requires courage to walk outside the line. Throughout life, this may have led you to isolate yourself or to try to fit in where you didn't belong. It may have caused deep pain, a sense of rejection, and even guilt. But now, perhaps you're starting to understand. All of it was preparation, because to fulfill an uncommon purpose, you must be an uncommon being. And in today's world, being uncommon is a spiritual act of resistance. You've always felt you had something to offer, even when you couldn't name what it was. A kind of quiet wisdom, an intense empathy, or a gaze that sees what others ignore. These are ancient marks, signs that your soul came equipped to be a beacon of light amid the confusion. And when you begin to accept that role, everything changes. You never fit in, because you came to reshape the mold, to create space for a new way of being, thinking, and living. And now that we've recognized this, we arrive at the most impactful mark of all, the one that transforms how you see life and perceive your very existence. Let's move on to the mark that holds the #1 place on our list. You notice the universe speaking to you through synchronicities. For the chosen ones, the universe doesn't appear merely as a backdrop. It reveals itself as an intelligent, symbolic, and responsive field. Reality seems to move as if in direct dialogue with your consciousness, repeating numbers, dreams that come true, random words from strangers that feel like answers to something you were quietly reflecting on. These are not random events. They are signs, ways in which life responds to a soul that has already awakened to its mission. When your frequency begins to vibrate with more coherence, the field around you reorganizes, and what once seemed like coincidence reveals itself as confirmation. The outer world becomes a mirror, and the invisible begins to speak through subtle yet undeniable means. You start to notice that certain songs play exactly when you need to hear them, that chance encounters carry hidden messages, that even videos showing up on your screen, like this one, have something to say. And this isn't magic, it's alignment. An interconnected, sensitive field of information begins to respond to you, because your consciousness is now emitting clear signals of search, surrender, and purpose. This state is described by many traditions as a spiritual turning point, a stage where the universe stops being silent and starts becoming your teacher. You begin to feel guided, not just by circumstances, but by something greater, a subtle intelligence that communicates through symbols, images, sensations, and synchronicities that only make sense to those who are ready to receive them. And the more you listen, the more signs appear, as if the quantum field responds with enthusiasm to your attention. That's when you realize your life is a co-creation. You're not here just to observe what happens. You're here to interact, respond, and create alongside the all. This changes everything. From the way you make decisions to how you interpret time and space. This mark is a call to conscious responsibility. Once you understand that reality is speaking to you, you also understand that you are being observed with precision. Your thoughts, intentions, and choices are not neutral. They are requests, silent commands. And the universe, in its impartial wisdom, responds to everything you emit consistently. Recurring dreams, premonitions, déjà vu. All of these are channels through which the invisible guides you. Not like a fixed manual, but like a living compass. And the more you trust this compass, the more synchronicities appear to confirm you're on the right path. This mark is the point where life stops being about survival and starts becoming a spiritual reading. Even delays begin to carry meaning. Missed meetings reveal protection. The doors that close show you what wasn't meant to be. Everything starts to carry an embedded code, and you become a decoder of these signals. As Carl Jung said, synchronicity is the term for meaningful coincidences that cannot be explained by causality, but that have meaning. Chosen ones live in this field. Maybe this video reached you in that same way. At a specific moment, with words that echo exactly what you needed to hear. That too is a sign, a living reflection of your frequency. Because the truth is, when you're ready, the universe responds. And if you recognize this pattern in your life, then your mission has already begun. You're not here just to live. You're here to decode the code of existence. If you've recognized any of these signs in your life, then I believe you're ready for part 2. Know that there are 3 other marks, even more powerful, that can help you understand your mission on this planet. I've made a second video where I reveal the 3 most special marks of the chosen ones. The link will be pinned in the comments for you to watch next. And if you're seeking guidance and direction to deal with the responsibility of being a chosen one, subscribe to the channel. This is a space created by a chosen one, for chosen ones. Here we explore deep and transformative topics, and they don't show up by accident. They show up when you're ready. You're not alone on this journey. And for those who made it this far, I have something special, a gift. Comment, I am an iZenither, and I'll use my intuition to choose a next video especially for you. Here on the channel, we've explored many powerful and sensitive topics, and there's surely one the all wants you to see. And remember, you're not here to find a purpose. You are the purpose, experiencing itself. Thank you for watching until the end. I hope to see you in the next video. A life of infinite possibilities awaits you.